And hello, there you are. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. I'm sorry as I was saying on the pre-show on the other channel, we had a light blowout here, so I'm using um, some improvised lighting here. Good to see everyone. Many blessings to you guys. The other day we had a good conversation, a good group discussion regarding the med beds and the med beds post that President Trump posted at the end of September. I think it was the 29th, I think. And so we had a good part one. Part one, it came up to be we discussed for a while. Love your comments, guys. Please share. Please comment. Please, we're going to take. This is a place, a space where we take a look at what's going on in the chat, what you guys are thinking, what you guys are saying, and excuse me. And we're going to continue that conversation. We were looking at reactions, and we were reacting to reactions in the media, the mainstream media and the alternative media, as well as a few other, well, basically, online YouTube channels, and we were looking at reactions. I'm good though. I'm going to kick off. There's a lot of new people coming in into the second stream, I think, and we're going to kick off the stream looking at the main reaction we looked at. Well, one of the main reactions we looked at the other day was the CNN Jake Tapper take on the whole situation. So first of all, let's take a look and see who's in here, and let's say hello. Hey, Curtis, good to see Curtis Selby in here. Awesome to see you, my friend. Welcome, Mr. Selby. Brother Lee, Pastor Lee, and we have been officially pastorized. Thank you, Brother Lee, for popping in here, my friend. I know Teen Telly is lurking. There's a few other friends lurking. They're not saying hi. Hello, Mambi. Good to see you. Awesome to see you. Kati. Good to see Kati in here. Awesome to see you, my friend. And I guess you ladies were bored because they've joined us. Wanted to see PJ streaming in the dark. Well, kind of in the dark. The ship, the bridge I'm on, the bridge of our spaceship here, the Orville, is not in the dark. So hey, Grace, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to see you. The Angular Boys are in here. Awesome to see the Angular Boys. Troy, good to see Troy. Troy Pacelli and Netter is not far behind. Good to see you, my friend. And Troy is kicking butt over there and taking names on Troy and Netter are really doing amazing work over there on their channels. And hey, Inspiration family, looking forward to you all posting content this week. Okay, awesome. So let's take a look. First, we were going to take a look at, let's see. We're going to take a look at the, I wanted to start by taking another look. I have a couple more, just a tiny bit to add to the Jake Tapper video. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of things we didn't look at the other day that we're going to look at today. So, all right, share the Mr. Tapper video here, and let's see. Okay. Here we go. So, again, this is a reaction by the journalist, TV host, Jake Tapper from CNN. And what I was, going after what I was trying to get at the other day was that his reaction is not politicized. And as a journalist, I'm not a journalist, but I can tell you the story The story here is not that, well, why did Trump post this? This is insane. This is absurd. The story is not that Trump posted something stupid and took it down. That's not the story. The story is why. Why, Mr. Tapper? Why did he post it, and why did he take it down? And that is completely unaddressed. So let's just take a look here and give another listen, okay?
Misinforming and strange stuff that politicians these days post on social media, including our president. But last night at 10:19 p.m. Eastern, President Trump posted this.
Breaking now. President Donald J. Trump has announced a historic new healthcare system, the launch of America's first MedBed hospitals and a national MedBed card for every citizen.
Every American will soon receive their own MedBed card. With it, you'll have guaranteed access to our new hospitals led by the top doctors in the nation.
I'm interrupting just a second. Apologies, to make sure you understand that none of this report is real.
Now, let me just say one thing here. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for Jake Tapper to go on I guess on this is a short from CNN. It doesn't make any sense for him to go on the air to tell people that this isn't real because 80, 85, 90% of the people who see this know that it's not real. It's not intended. It's not intended to dupe anybody. It's just intended to put an idea out there for whatever reason. We don't really know. Is it because MedBeds are real and they're planting the seed? Is it because is it a distraction? Is it whatever it is? This is obviously it's intentionally done. We don't need Mr. Tapper to remind us that that this is fake. Don't believe it. Most people who are going to watch it are not going to believe this, right? If you want the truth, we have to go to people like PJ, Troy, Amy, maybe even me. Yes, maybe even you, Curtis. We at least try to get at the truth instead of just spewing our own agendas. Absolutely. And Curtis has got an amazing channel over there. Hit on his icon and go follow his channel. Thank you, Dave. All right, let's continue.
It is AI doing a fake Lara Trump Fox report.
Now, again, he's telling us the ridiculously, blatantly obvious. And again, he is going to miss the entire story from the journalistic point of view. And again, I'm a psychologist, not a journalist. But the story here is, Jake, the story here is why. The why. Why would he do that? Why would he put it up? Why would he take it down? It's obviously fake. It's not meant to dupe anybody.
None of this is real. MedBeds are not real. I'll tell you more about them in a second.
Now, this is something we discussed the other day. It's not for him to say whether MedBeds are real or not real. And I gave the example the other day that we cannot be when we have journalists being absolute, because giving absolute opinions like this is not journalism. And maybe this is maybe it's it's just him talking. Maybe it's just his opinion, but he is a journalist. And I gave the example the other day of what would Walter Cronkite say, and just extreme the caliber of Cronkite. What would Cronkite say? Think about what would Walter Cronkite say. Imagine Walter Cronkite, at all those Apollo launches, the Mercury launches, and what would he say? I said something the other day. I was like, I feel like he would say, as far as we know, there are no indications that this is real. That is something he would say. That is an objective statement. But journalists are not qualified to say whether something is real or not real. And again, the framework that we were painting out the other day, the framework that we were describing the other day, was that the everything that's going on in Washington. If you have congressmen and congresswomen, Anna Paulina Luna, Tim Burchett, you have them talking about underwater civilizations at the bottom of the ocean, interdimensional beings. The medbed is the least of, out there idea, is the least far out there idea.
But I just wanted to make sure you got that. Anyway, here's the rest of this bogus news report that President Trump shared for some reason.
Equipped with the most advanced technology in the world, these facilities are safe, modern, and designed to restore every citizen to full health and strength.
Again, this is not a real video. And now this is President Trump re-truthing, if that's what you call it on Truth Social, his social media thing, re-truthing a post that is AI of his daughter-in-law, AI of his favorite channel, Fox, and AI of him talking about med beds, which if you're sane, you don't know that med beds are a conspiracy theory popular with QAnon people.
Now, there we go. There's the QAnon comment. And again, we want to get to the point where we want to, reiterate that the whole concept of politicizing this is absolutely not a political, to be a politicized issue. Excuse me, sorry. This is not to be a politicized issue. Like we were saying the other day, people who believe, or people who have consider they're open-minded about the possibility, are all over the political spectrum, and has nothing to do with QAnon, whether it's mentioned in the QAnon whatever papers, whatever QAnon stuff, maybe it is mentioned, but the fact is, why don't you go and take a political survey of all the people, all the audience at Gaia, for example, Jake Tapper. Why don't you go take a political survey of all the people at Gaia? I think you'll be surprised. I think it's not. I think the audience at Gaia, for example, is not full of QAnon people. There, I'm sure there are some, but the audience at Gaia is all over the place, and probably leaning, to be honest, towards the audience at Gaia is probably leaning a little left, to be honest. So this is not a political issue. And these are the talking points that we saw the other day, the established talking points of the established media. So anyway, let's finish with this, because we saw him the other day. We saw Jake the other day, and we want to move on to other stuff.
In which there exist these magic beds that restore limbs and reverse aging and cure anything that befalls the human body, but they're only available to the rich and elite. And this, of course, is President Trump offering med beds to everyone. But it's a conspiracy theory, and the whole thing's not true. What? I asked the White House what was the deal with the president posting this and then deleting it. He did delete it. And if they say anything, I'll let you know.
Now, they did say something, actually, and we're going to talk about that. And they said it, but they didn't say it. They didn't say it just to Mr. Tapper. They said it to everybody, and they said it in the press conference. And the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, said it. And we're going to take a look at that. Hello, Positive Candor. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. To what extent is this true or false? That is journalism, not just telling me medbeds are fake. They may or may not be, but this is not journalism. AJ's doing better. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, and listen, I think that and I'm going to do something right here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, because I want to set, I want you guys to think about this. What feels off? What feels off, guys? I'm going to put up a picture. I'm going to put up a picture of a very, very respected person who we all know. And Okay, here we go. You guys all know who this is, and I just mentioned him. That old bogey again. Okay, so I'm going to put up this picture, and I just mentioned him. I'm putting up a picture, of course, of Walter Cronkite. And I want you guys to close your eyes. Well, close your eyes. Wait, maybe you should bring up the picture, Peach. Sorry for me being in the dark again. If you guys are just coming in here, my lamp just blew out. And some improvised lighting, not great. So I'm putting up this picture, guys. And guys, but we are on the new channel here. We are on the new channel, on the Inspiration channel. So please feel free to share it out, and hit that like and subscribe if you're just joining us. So hey, James Manhands Record, good to see Manhands in here. All right, guys, I want you to think about this for a little bit. Imagine Walter Cronkite reporting. Just close your eyes for a second. I think, unless you're, like 25 or under, you probably are 30 and under. You probably know who Walter Cronkite is. Just close your eyes for a second. Imagine, or look at the picture and imagine Walter Cronkite reporting on Trump posting and then taking away the post. What would he say? He would say, I really sincerely think he would say, listen, as of now, we have no indications. We have no indications of medbeds being real. The question is, why would President Trump post it? And then, again, why would he take it down? Is he testing the waters? Is he planting a seed? Is this a distraction? Is it, it could be a total number of things, a great number of things. And there is such a big difference between the journalism we saw growing up and the positioning that we see with people like Jake Tapper. Now, that being said, I kind of like Jake Tapper. I've always kind of liked him. I think he's the kind of person like you might be friends with, even though you didn't agree with him, if you knew him in real life. And I also think that he's also the kind of person who, when he eventually finds out stuff, because I think a lot of these people are, they're living with a certain level of ignorance. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just trying to say that they're living in the dark, right? They haven't even considered the possibility of certain things might be real. So, and in some cases, some people, I mean, who knows? Maybe he does think they're real, but he's not allowed to report. So who knows? But anyway, the real thing is here. The real thing is here, guys, that the story, Mr. Tapper, is the real story is not to tell people that President Trump posted, something that's fake. The real story is not to rat out, oh, the president posted something that's fake. Everybody knows it's fake. Everyone knows it's fake because he's using an AI tool to communicate an idea. And if this is like that video, that's very something that a lot of small, medium, even large YouTube channels would put out, just using AI to communicate an idea, right? And it's not intended. I mean, it looks very similar, and who knows, in a couple of years, you might not be able to tell the difference at all. But the intonation is all wrong. There's things in the video. You can tell, it's AI. I mean, not everybody. I can imagine, like, people that, in their 90s, like people like my parents would might not detect that it's real at first, right? But they're also not looking for it. So people on social media are definitely already looking for this. So anyway, just a thought. Walter Cronkite here in the States was a very, very respected journalist who did a lot of the NASA launches, and Yeah, he would cite a source. So and so, Dr. So and so would answered, I have no idea what a medbed hospital is. Trump had no comment, then asked why he posted down the post. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's great. We can thank you, Chris. We can make up our own minds, and yeah, maybe some of us still drink the Kool-Aid and say Trump said it. It must be true, but I think most of us can make up our own minds what he said. Exactly. Discrediting without looking into it further is not using critical thinking. Absolutely, Kati. Absolutely. Okay, let's move on. And so one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to move on, but we're going to frame the rest of the discussion in the following way. And what we're going to do to frame the discussion for those of you just coming in here, yeah, PJ is in the dark, even though he's on the bridge of the space of his spaceship. Sounds more like absolutely want to keep control of the narrative. It does sound like wanting to keep control of the narrative. And yesterday we looked, and we're going to see a little bit more. There's a couple more clips that we're going to see about people kind of mimicking that, right? But we're also going to take a look at the other side. And the one thing I want to do to frame the rest of the discussion is we are going to look at somebody who used to work in the White House in the first term, in Trump's first term. And what we're also going to do is, and this is also a person who's part of Trump's family. So, okay, we are going to look at a video, at a segment. There's a couple of segments that we're going to look at. We're going to look at something that Jared Kushner said, and during the after the first administration. And let's see. And he's quoted a couple times saying something very similar. And yeah, he's a young guy. I don't know, what is he? Like 40 something? Probably 40. Let me add, why don't you add it, PJ? All right. So here we go. What did I do? All right, here we go. All right. So this is a very short clip now of something that Jared Kushner said. And we're going to give credit to this channel, Speculate. It's got 286 subscribers. We're giving him a like. Thank you, Speculate. And I will put in the links afterward in the description. So, and it says here, Jared Kushner says he may live forever. Is he admitting a transhumanist future? Now, this is a very fascinating idea. Now, let me just say, so the reason I want to show this now is because I want to set the tone for the rest of the stuff we watch. And because if this is how the inner circle of Trump thinks about this, I mean, his family, this is how his family thinks about this. And in this case, you know, they may have been using Jared Kushner to again plant another seed, right? And let me just say hello to Captain Fandom Nerd. Good to see you, Cap. Awesome to see you, Captain of all the fandoms. And hello, Maria Verde. Thank you for joining us, Maria. For those following the upcoming global wellness programs, MedBed Healing New Technology shares official updates privately through our newsletter. Oh, okay. Maria, full details are available on their main channel. Welcome. You're absolutely welcome, Maria, to put in a link. Please do. Please put in a link, and we will check that out. MedBed Healing New Technology. If you can put us, give us a link, I'm happy to take a look at that. So I want to frame. Okay. We'll if you can put in a link, that'd be great. And if not, I will go hunt that down. Thank you, Maria, for sharing, and welcome, Maria. Guys, if you are just new to the channel, please subscribe and hit that like, subscribe, so you guys can get more inspiration stuff. All right, let's listen to what he said. Some of you guys remember what he said. Let's see. Let's start it again.
From the last year, the one thing I've tried to put a priority on since I left the White House was getting some exercise in. I think that there's a good probability that my generation is, hopefully with the advances in science, either the first generation to live forever or the last generation that's going to die. And so we need to keep ourselves in pretty good shape.
Now that's like, those are some pretty strong words, and we're gonna listen to them again. We're gonna listen to them again. Curtis was not subscribed. Yeah, I'm sure it's YouTube doing its shenanigans. I'm sure you subscribed at some point, my friend. Yeah, this is Kat Gatti. This is amazing. We love the Y-Files. We love the Y-Files streamed last night, I think. Yesterday, didn't they? I know. So all right, guys. This is pretty amazing stuff. And this is not new. This is old. He said this in a couple of times, and if you do, it only shows up, it only shows up in a few videos, but he did say it more than once, and he said it more than once. And I'm going to play it again. Now, this is his son-in-law. You guys know that. Most of you know that. This is Trump's son-in-law, and he said this several years ago. And we know that this is another planting of the seed, right? Of putting that idea out there. And at first, it was probably it was probably a little too it was probably too early to talk about the med beds. But Jared Kushner is putting this transhumanist idea out there that somehow, we're gonna, we should be taking care of ourselves because we're gonna have this technology where if you're basically trying to take good care of yourself, you can have a very long life. Who knows? We'll all be like Vulcans, living 200-300 years, or he's saying forever. Who knows? Anyway, let's listen again.
From the last year, the one thing I've tried to put a priority on since I left the White House was getting some exercise in. I think that there's a good probability that my generation is, hopefully with the advances in science, either the first generation to live forever or the last generation that's going to die. And so we need to keep ourselves in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty.
Last year,
that's pretty amazing stuff, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Troy. Actually, yeah, dude, I got no wrenches in here. So absolutely, thank you, my friend. I will. Yeah, we got no wrenches in here yet, and we're not doing the thing on Orville Nation because we're gonna have, the other channel is. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate that. All right. So yeah, this is pretty amazing stuff. Now, the rest of the stuff I want to watch, we want to take a look at. Let's do it in the context of this commentary. Now, the first thing that comes to mind, to be honest, I heard this a couple of years ago, and the first thing that comes to my mind more recently when I rehear this, you know what? It's so short. I'm going to play it one more time. It's so short. I'm going to play it one more time.
From the last year, the one thing I've tried to put a priority on since I left the White House was getting some exercise in. I think that there's a good probability that my generation is, hopefully with the advances in science, either the first generation to live forever or the last generation that's going to die. And so we need to keep ourselves in pretty good shape.
Okay.
So
the first thing that comes to my mind, and it doesn't seem connected at all. Oh, Troy, awesome. Thank you. Is that Maria Valverde's link? Thank you. Let me check that out. Thanks, Troy. I appreciate it, my friend. Let me just finish this commentary. The one thing that I think is interesting that comes to my mind is, I don't know, for some reason RFK Jr. is coming to my mind. He's like, RFK is 70 years old. He's in very good health and very good fit, very, very fit for his age. And he is, I mean, he's always been a pretty healthy guy, very active guy, but it's very important to him for America and the world to return to a healthier way of life, right? Maybe that our parents and grandparents had. I've been getting more updates about the upcoming EBS through their official email newsletter. Really helpful. Thank you, Maria. Let me just take a quick look at a quick look at what Maria is sharing. Thank you, Troy. Where is it? And thank you for putting in Curtis's channel. Feel free to do that, Troy. Please, absolutely. That is Maria Alvarez's link. Okay. I'm going to try to take a look during another video. I'm going to try to take a look at what Maria shared at that website. So listen, so within that framework, right, of the Trump family or Trump inner circle believing partly in this, they're obviously saying that they believe in some new medical technology, right? I'm going to look for it, Troy. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to look. It's the MedBed Healing New Technology. Right, MedBed Healing New Technology. You know what? Here, I'm just going to look at it really quick. Okay, I'm not seeing it right now, so feel free, Maria, if you want to share a link. It would be awesome to if you could. All right. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at. So within that frame, guys, within that frame of the Trump's inner circle believing in, new technology, let's just listen to what he said the other day. Let's just listen to what not Trump said, but RFK Jr. said. The HHS secretary, and I want to reiterate that. I want to reiterate that okay, thank you, Maria. I'm just not seeing a link. Maybe it's not letting you. Is it possible that it's not letting you? Okay. If it's not letting you, I'm going to briefly let you post the link in case you want to, Maria. I'm going to let you I'll let you post the link. It's possible it's not letting you. Huh. Let's see. You should be able. I'm giving you a wrench for this session, Maria, and you should be able to post that link. There you go. All right. RFK Jr. And he went. Now the politicians have been using the media to slander and twist RFK Jr. and everything he says. I want to remind everybody that until very, very recently, right before COVID, for decades, folks, for decades, RFK Jr. has been a champion of the environment, of the little guy against the big corporations. He's been a champion of the left. He's been a champion of his family. He's been a champion to the Democratic Party. So the whole campaign against RFK Jr. To public, campaign to smear him or to make him look ignorant or to make him look crazy is, it's new. Historically speaking, it's relatively new. And by the way, that whole thing about the brain worm, that ridiculous thing about the brain worm, you know why that guy, why he had the brain worm? He had the brain worm because he travels a lot, because he's an outdoors guy. And that's probably the reason he got it at some point, but it's not, they joke around about that. It's obviously not an issue. RFK severed a whale's head and dropped it in about 100 miles from the beach in his house with the whale's head on the court. That is crap. That is reported. Okay. Yeah. And he said he kind of did a sophomoric thing at one point with a bear he had found. But he admitted to that. And he's an outdoorsman. He has kind of a different mentality. Hey, Netter, awesome to have the great Netters Network in the house. Thank you for joining us, my friend. All right, let's give a listen to this.
I was hoping you would say that.
And let me just it says here, RFK, this is from Forbes breaking news. RFK Jr., average teen male has lower sperm count and less testosterone than a 65-year-old man. That is interesting, and there is some truth to that, if not a lot of truth. And it has to do with toxins. It has to do with things people are eating. It has to do with the environment. It has to do with lots of things. So let's give a listen.
I'll be coming up for a second. What a job you're doing. Say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Let me just add that RFK Jr. has got to be like probably the top political asset in Trump's cabinet. And Americans were not accustomed to. We're not accustomed to as far as maybe Europeans are or other countries are. We're not accustomed to the idea of a coalition government, right? But that is kind of really what happened, right? Trump or RFK stepping out of the race and supporting Trump was very essential, right, to Trump winning. And RFK Jr. was his poll numbers were extremely underreported and exaggerated, and he was kind of blacklisted from the media, and he was even the nail in the coffin for his campaign was him by some crazy judge in New York getting him off the ballot when it was perfectly legal for him to stay on the ballot in New York. So anyway, one of the greatest assets in Trump's cabinet, and he's not a Republican. He is at most an independent, if not still a Democrat. And Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat, and Trump used to be a Democrat, and Elon Musk used to be a Democrat. So this is people don't realize that if you look at things in the historical perspective, this second Trump administration actually has a very unique and talented group of people.
Vision, your commitment to our country. When my uncle was president, the fertility rate in this country was 3.5%. Today, it is 1.6%. The replacement rate, in other words, the amount of fertility that you need in order to keep your population even, is 2.1%. We are below replacement right now. That is a national security threat to our country. And we know why this is happening. And President Trump is addressing the root causes.
Excuse me. Now, it's very interesting that he's calling the infertility problem a national security threat. That's very interesting, and he's probably right. Let's keep listening.
Through his Maha agenda of reducing endocrine disruptors, the exposure to chemicals that decrease fertility. Today, the average teenager in this country has 50% of the sperm count, 50% of the testosterone as a 65-year-old man. Our girls are hitting puberty 6 years earlier. And that's bad. Also, our parents aren't having children. Parents who want to have children do not have access. I have 7 children. I feel that God has blessed me with that. And I can't imagine how different my life would be if I did not have that blessing. I want to point out also that this morning, Harvard University released a study that showed that the obesity rates have now climbed over 70%. And this again is.
Now, let me just say one thing. It really is important for us to take care of ourselves, especially when you travel outside of the United States. When you travel outside of the United States, you notice the damage that all the fast food and some of that, all the processed food, you see that you see a lot less obesity outside of the United States. It's going up in a lot of countries that are westernizing more, but you definitely see that when you travel in the United States, and it's a real issue. And we don't have to be that way. We can be healthier. We can be life can be better, and that's what RFK Jr. is trying to share with everybody. Life can be a higher quality of life, and it can be a healthier life, right? And let me just Jim's point here is maybe he didn't put it up at all. Maybe Trump didn't put it up at all, and when he found out about it, he made someone take it down. And that is a possibility. Like, that's objective. That's more objective right there. That's more objective right there than Mr. Jake Tapper. So thank you, Handmans. Handmans, you should take over CNN.
For the same reason we're flooding our kids, we're poisoning mass poisoning a generation of kids with chemicals. President Trump has instructed us to stop these problems at the root cause. He's also recognized that there are people who are injured, people who are not living their life to the fullest, and he's addressing that. Last week, we made GLP drugs available at Most Favored Nation. And this week, it's IVF.
Now let's remember that let's remember to take into account that we're watching everything we're watching now. We're trying to watch it in the frame of mind that Trump's inner circle, like we just saw Jared Kushner saying about living forever and transhumanism and technology that will extend human life. Let's take a look at everything within that frame. Okay. Let's remember to look at everything through that frame. Hey, Thomas Batali, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to see you, Great Thomas, in here. And Maria Tiantelli, I knew she was lurking. There she is. Troy just jumped a lot of. Thank you, Troy, so much, and thank you, Maria Alverde, for pointing that out, and thank you, Troy, for putting it up. Appreciate that, my friend. One second. That is the okay. That's the email that Troy was talking about. Okay, so let's continue. Guys, make sure you're Troy is putting in links to some channels creators who are in the stream in the chat. So please subscribe to them. I used to have a population of sea monkeys in a jar. Good friend of mine took a trip to Rome. He took a bottle of Tums, thinking he would need it because he was determined to eat whatever he wanted. He said he never needed it and felt better then felt and in many years. Awesome. Thank you for that, sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And do we know if Trump himself is the one posting to his Truth page or a staffer? We don't. We're going to take a look. Now, what we're going to do, thanks, Troy, for bringing that up. What we're going to do now when we finish with RFK, we're going to look at Caroline Leavitt's response. And it honestly does seem like, and knowing Donald Trump, he probably is the one who is usually putting stuff up. Not always, but usually. And he probably has a personal assistant who also helps him with it, but I would imagine. But we're going to look at, right after RFK, we're going to look at Caroline Leavitt, press secretary, her response to all this. So thank you, Troy. All right. So,
I want to thank you so much for that, Mr. President. I saw on an airplane the other day, you said that you didn't believe that you were going to get to heaven. You're doing God's work here. You've made peace in the Middle East, which is beyond anybody's imagination. And now you're giving millions of Americans a chance to have babies. And you're doing this while the government is locked down by the Democrats. But this administration has not stopped working for the American people. And that's because of your energy, your commitment, your vision. And I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of it.
And again, RFK Jr. is, one of the greatest assets for the Trump cabinet. So we're going to go look at the press secretary, which he said, yes, our funny comedian friend from Manhands from Seinfeld, magic beds and flying carpets. Yes, Troy. Yeah. Listen, I mentioned it the other day. Troy. There is considering the fact that Donald Trump says he likes a lot of McDonald's fast food and stuff, and very much like the common man in the States, being almost 80 years old and having a insane pace in his presidency as far as activities and press conferences, etc. One would even though he might not be in perfect health, one would have to ask themselves if he's had some at some point a treatment or two on these med beds, just to keep up, right? Because he's extremely active. Probably, he's probably since television cameras have been around, he's probably the most accessible and the most videoed president, to be honest, and probably the most interacting with the press as well. So yes, make America healthy again. Amen with that. Making America healthy again. Okay. So let's take a look at the press secretary, and then we'll take a look at some other spins, some other spins that we saw. Well, oh wait, no, we've seen this. Let's take another. This is another. Well, before we look at Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, she's a very young press secretary. She's very feisty though, and she's very centered. She's actually a very good press secretary. Probably one of the best actually that we've seen in a long time. Very good on her toes. Okay. This is another NBC segment. Let's just take a look at their reaction to the whole thing. This is another MSNBC segment. We saw one the other day. This is a different one. Walter Cronkite was not as objective as a journalist as you might think. I don't know. All right. That is a valid opinion, James. But I mean, if you compare him to what we have today, and some of those old timers, compared to what we have today, it's night and day. But he was, you're not wrong, honestly. But he was more professional and more a real journalist. He was, it's night and day. I understand what you're saying, James. Yeah, it's just night and day with what we have today. But thank you for sharing that. All right, let's listen to this MSNBC. I'm not sure who it's from. I forgot.
Over the weekend, President Trump posted an announcement about a brand new breakthrough in medical technology, except it was completely fake. During one of his late night Truth Social posting sprees, the president shared this AI video made to look like a Fox News segment of him touting something called MedBeds.
President Donald J. Trump has announced a historic new healthcare system, the launch of America's first MedBed hospitals and a national MedBed card for every citizen.
Every American will soon receive their own MedBed card. These facilities are safe, modern, and designed to restore every citizen to full health and strength. This is the beginning of a new era in American healthcare.
Believe it or not, the idea of these MedBeds are not new. Right-wing conspiracy theorists have for years now believed in the existence of these miracle pods or beds that can cure any
Now,
ailment.
let me just say, again, here we go again. She said, let me just replay that really quick. Hold on.
This is the beginning of a new era in American healthcare.
Believe it or not, the idea of these MedBeds are not new. Right-wing conspiracy theorists have...
Now, here we go again. Right-wing conspiracy theories. Again, let me point out, once again, let me point out, go take a survey of political views of the audience on Gaia, for example. Just do that. You don't even have to look at other communities or online in general. Just look at Gaia, and what are you going to see? The political spectrum is all over the place. And I think that the general tendency, if you had to find a general tendency within the Gaia audience, it would probably be slightly to the left. So, my lights blew out. Yeah, my lights blew out, Jim, right before when we were streaming, just before we got going here. Thank you, Troy. Follow each other, even though there's no content. There may be somebody. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Troy. All right.
for years now, believed in the existence of these miracle pods or beds that can cure any ailment or disease simply by lying in it. They also believe that it's being gatekept from the public to be solely used by the world's elites, and that President Trump will be the one to make them accessible to the world. As a result of the rising conspiracy theory, scammers have attempted to cash in, creating their own medbed products and shilling them to believers in these right-wing circles. It's unclear
Now,
what the
that's fair. That's fair to say that there's going to be stuff popping up that might not be, might not be up to par, might be taking advantage of people. At the same time, that when we start looking at stuff, one of some of the news that's coming out, especially from whistleblowers, is that some aspects of medical technology will be released slowly. And one of the things that comes to mind, of course, is the Rife machine and other products like it, like the what is it called? The Jason Shirka device that he's got going there, and other stuff that's probably taking one aspect and or small parts of new technology and putting it out there to which are not really, cannot be classified as a medical device, but more of a wellness device, right? Of trying to maintain health, and might have some and some people have said that they've gotten good results from that. But anyway, yeah, we should be aware of taking advantage, people taking advantage. There's always scammers out there. And people taking advantage of others. They will get their karma. People trying to take advantage of others, they will get their karma. The universe has a way of, giving people their karma.
The person who posted this to the president's official account was thinking, but the video was taken down hours later. But what's really concerning here is the fact that medbeds, this obviously made up technology, was amplified by the literal president of the United States. That is something to be extremely worried about. Listen, we all know that the president has a history of spreading false information. He also loves a meme, often posts AI-generated videos and images of himself, ones where he is Superman or the Pope. But what makes this medbed video different is that it's made to look real. We've seen similar deepfakes of celebrities.
It's made to look kind of real, but we obviously know it's fake. I mean, I think Trump as the Pope looks more real, to be honest. No, this is obviously fake. His voice intonation is totally fake. It's not meant to dupe anybody. And I want to point out Kathy's comment there. Wow, the news seems perfectly scripted to divide and polarize people against each other over time. Absolutely. Yeah. With all people throwing around the term dog whistles, they tend to be the ones using dog whistles. Right, conspiracy theorists, the Myra crowd, yeah. So again, this is the medbed. The people who are interested in the medbed community, the people who believe in it, and the people who are open-minded to it. Again, they are all over the political spectrum. Hey, Gap After Dark, good to see you, my friend. Awesome to see you, Gap. All right.
Including Donald Trump, being used by scammers recently. Attorneys general, consumer protection agencies, and federal agencies have been warning about deepfake AIs, hawking things like cryptocurrency, weight loss products, even unofficial Trump memorabilia. In 2023, I spoke to Trump supporters who were tricked by fake AI videos, a lot like the medbed post, into buying thousands of dollars in worthless coins with the president's face on them. I thought it was striking then that President Trump's most diehard supporters couldn't tell a fake video from a real one. Now, with
I don't know about that. Anyway, she's going off script. She's going on to other
the president
topics here.
himself sharing these fake videos, it may be even harder for his supporters and the entire world to tell what's real and what's not.
There can obviously
posted an announcement.
There can obviously be a time
Over
where
the weekend, President Trump.
there can obviously be a time where completely where videos are unable to be identified as fake, for sure. But we're not there yet. And the intention here is not to. If he wanted to make something up, the only thing he had to do was Listen, if you wanted to make it a lot more real, the only thing to do would be to not use an AI voice. So now, listen, I'm going to share something else because I see there's a lot of sci-fi fans in here. And I'm going to share something else because sci-fi fans have a unique okay. That's funny, Curtis. And Curtis also says, I'm open-minded about it. Just don't have enough to say about it. I just don't know enough to say much about it. Yeah. So, all right. The next thing I want to share is something a lot of the sci-fi fans in here have seen. We're going to show a little bit of this. I might have to show this more carefully. I might have to stop this more carefully as far as getting hit with claims and stuff. All right. Like I said the other day, sci-fi fans and Stargate fans in particular are very particular about this whole medbed issue because it's very prominent in the sci-fi in the Stargate series, right? And here's a clip from Stargate that let's just take a look at this. This is the Stargate movie, not the series, but there's a countless more references in the series. Now, Daniel here, Daniel Jackson, played by James Spader, wakes up in a sarcophagus, which is basically, it basically qualifies as a medbed, as a very futuristic medbed, which heals people. And the one twist about this in Stargate, of course, is that if you use the medbed all the time, it kind of changes your personality. And I'm not saying it makes you evil necessarily, but it definitely changes your personality not for the better. So according to Stargate lore. So his wound is cured, right? The Boba Fett back to tank. Yeah. So this is we see here the sarcophagus, which is basically the medbed for the Ra, the alien there. Let me just stop it a little bit, and we get another look at it here. Sorry. So we get a good look there. That's basically, it's a giant futuristic technology sarcophagus, which is basically like a alien technology medbed. And they even put dead people in there and they bring them back to life, right? If they're recently dead. So that's kind of what. That's kind of like what, right? And his wound is healed again. So anyway, Stargate fans are and sci-fi fans in general are very open-minded about this. And the Boba Fett back to tank, absolutely, and the Return of the Jedi. The Empire Strikes Back to tank, and forgot about the scene, says Curtis. The film was amazing. Listen, the series is even better. 17 seasons of Stargate. All right, let's continue. It's time to look at at what Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, and more than just tombs. I totally agree that probably more than just tombs. Yep. Yeah. And thank you, Thomas. Yeah, the Luke and Darth Vader are back to tanks. Absolutely. Yep, they were all put in back to tanks. Anakin when he was turning into Vader, and Luke. Yep. Where is, one second. Here we go. All right, folks. All right, Caroline Leavitt. Let's see what she said about it. So she gave an official response to the whole press corps, to everybody. She gave her official response to everyone. Let's listen.
Refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest directly himself. Many a times on Truth, you are hearing directly from the president of the United States.
So to answer Troy's question there, on Truth Social, many times you are hearing directly from him. Let's listen again.
I want to ask about this video that the president posted the other day. It was an AI deepfake of himself talking about something called med beds. What was he trying to communicate to the public there, and why did he delete it?
I think the president saw the video and posted it. And then took it down. And he has the right to do that. It's his social media. He's incredibly transparent, as you all know. You hear from him directly on social media. He likes to share memes. He likes to share videos. He likes to repost things that he sees other people post on social media as well. And I think it's quite refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest directly himself. Many a time.
Let me just say, we're going to play this one more time. I want you guys, there's 3 words in here. There's 3 words in here that are key in her response. I think she's being extremely direct, by the way. There's 3 words in here. Let's listen to them again. See if you guys in the chat can point them out.
It's on Truth. You are hearing directly from the president of the United States.
First thing, I want to ask about this video that the president posted the other day. It was an AI deepfake of himself talking about something called med beds. What was he trying to communicate to the public there, and why did he delete it?
I think the president saw the video and posted it. And then took it down. And he has the right to do that. It's his social media. He's incredibly transparent, as you all know. You hear from him directly on social media. He likes to share memes. He likes to share videos. He likes to repost things that he sees other people post on social media as well. And I think it's quite refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest directly himself. Many a times on Truth, you are hearing directly from the president of the United States.
First thing, I want to ask about this.
So really quick, we're going to listen to it one more time. I want you guys in the chat. What are the 3 key words? I'm thinking about 3 key words I'm listening in there. Again, she's saying many times when you're hearing Truth Social, you're hearing directly from the president. So many, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's more than half. Who knows? I don't know if it's most. I don't know if you could say most, but she said many. So, and she said it was him. So, and there's 3 key words in here. Let's listen one more time in the chat, guys. Let us know what you're hearing. There's 3 key words in here.
Video that the president posted the other day. It was an AI deepfake of himself talking about something called med beds. What was he trying to communicate to the public there, and why did he delete it?
I think
Now she's very good at answering questions. What did he want to communicate? Let's listen to the whole response.
The president saw the video and posted it, and then took it down. And he has the right to do that. It's his social media. He's incredibly transparent, as you all know. You hear from him directly on social media. He likes to share memes. He likes to share videos. He likes to repost things that he sees other people post on social media as well. And I think it's quite refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest.
Okay. The key words are he's incredibly transparent, open, and honest. She is responding. What did he intend to do with this? She's literally saying transparent, open, and honest. She is repeating herself. Transparent, open, and honest. Transparent, open, and honest. She is answering the question very clearly. What was his intention? To be transparent, open, and honest. Very, very, very clear answers. And what we saw before with Jared Kushner statement from a couple of years ago, the inner circle of Trump believes in this kind of stuff. They're, like the people at the White House believe in this. I mean, and she's saying it. She's saying it.
Directly himself.
One
Many
more-
a
one
times
more
on
time.
Truth, you are hearing directly from the President of the United States.
First thing, I want to ask about this video that the president posted the other day. It was an AI deepfake of himself talking about something called med beds. What was he trying to communicate to the public there, and why did he delete it?
I think the president saw the video and posted it. And then took it down. And he has the right to do that. It's his social media. He's incredibly transparent, as you all know. You hear from him directly on social media. He likes to share memes. He likes to share videos. He likes to repost things that he sees other people post on social media as well. And I think it's quite refreshing that we have a president who is so open and honest directly himself. Many a times on Truth, you are hearing directly from the President of the United States.
First thing, I want to...
Now, again, she's a very young press secretary. I think she's like just turning 27 or something like that. Very young. She's very young. She's very good at the job. Caroline Levitt. Caroline Tickett or Levitt. She's a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie. She's good at her job. All right. Absolutely. Curtis pointed it out. Transparent, open, and honest. Transparent, open, and honest. It's very clear. She's giving a very, very direct answer to the question. She's very direct in her. She's not. She's not a scapegoat type of secretary. If she doesn't want to answer something, she says, "I don't want to answer it. I can't answer it." She's very direct. So very interesting. This is very, very interesting. No, just give me a joke. Gap Stargate says there's probably Stargate at Cheyenne Mountain and one in Antarctica and one in Russia. Hey, that's what the Stargaters think, right? That's what the Gators think. Okay. Open, and Kathy also pointed it out. Open, incredibly transparent, and honest. Yep, it's very clear when you listen to it. When you listen to it for the first time, like it might not completely catch it because she speaks quickly, but and you might be involved in the context, but she's very clear. And Kathy and Curtis pointed out, open, transparent, and honest. It's very clear, very, very clear. All right. That comment probably put you on a list, Curtis. Okay. Okay. So, all right, let's take a couple more looks here at a few more things. And I want to thank everybody in the chat for the wonderful participation. Everybody who's lurking, make sure you guys are subscribing. Welcome to the channel. And let's see. Let's see a couple more to go. This is so let me just share. This is a kind of a Forbes, Forbes takes, Forbes is, I wouldn't say they're anti-Trump. They do also kind of give those similar talking points. Let's see. That some of the regular media, traditional media do as well. Let's take a look. This is not so much. This is kind of one of those videos where they just give written commentary. Trump deletes the most. By the way, the title below is Trump deletes post preferring. I'm sorry. Trump deletes post referencing bizarre medbed conspiracy theory. President Donald Trump shared. You know what? This goes way too fast. Let me slow it down. All right. Trump deletes post referencing bizarre medbed conspiracy. President Donald Trump shared and then deleted a seemingly AI-generated video in which he was been seen promising Americans access to medbeds, a fictional technology popular with some far-right conspiracy theorists who believe they secretly exist and hold miracle cures. Now, that is true. It's popular with some far-right the QAnon groups. It is popular with them. But again, the whole, when you look at the whole issue, the whole medbed issue, it is, to say it's QAnon is preposterous, right? This video, which is, the video which was posted Saturday evening on his Truth Social account, featured an apparently AI-generated video of the Americans promising the medbed cards. That's another thing. In the video, he does promise every American will have a medbed card. That's one of the things that we mentioned in the video in part one that we haven't talked about today. Now, it's, what's really interesting too, the whole concept of Americans having a medbed card is screaming for who would, if that ever became the case. Let me just say, if that ever became the case, that would probably turn up being, what's very interesting here is it would end up turning into one of RFK Jr.'s responsibilities. Medbed cards would end up turning into HHS Secretary Kennedy's responsibility. That's an interesting point, by the way. Medbed cards for Americans, which would grant access to hospitals designed to restore every citizen to full health and strength. It is unclear why the president's account posted the video, which was taken down hours later. And the White House did not immediately respond to a request for copies on Forbes. Did not immediately, but it was addressed. It was addressed in a press conference at the White House by, we just saw Caroline Leavitt, which appears to show an AI-generated. This might have been created slightly before, but I don't know. I think not, actually. I'm not 100% sure. The video, which appears to show an AI-generated Lara Trump. So they're just describing the video now. Proponents of the medbed conspiracy theory believe that the government is hiding advanced technology. They're just describing it. Again, what's most interesting here, guys, is the fact that this would turn into, again, they're bringing up the QAnon stuff. The medbed cards would turn into an HHS issue and be Secretary Kennedy's responsibility. So, in years since, several splinter groups have fixated on medbeds. One group led by now deceased QAnon influencer Michael. Okay, I don't know much about QAnon, to be honest. I don't know much about it. So anyway, all right. So basically, that's that Forbes clip on it. Every American will have a medbed card. Sounds like a socialized medicine single prayer, not exactly a right-wing kind of thing. That's more left socialist. Yeah. Now, I do want to point this out, though, too. 100 years ago, think about this, guys. If it's true that they have a lot of technology stashed away, 100 years ago, guaranteeing clean drinking water, 120 years ago, to guarantee clean drinking water in public drinking water, might have seemed like a socialized issue, a socialist issue. So what makes something not become the political issue anymore? The availability. When you have the availability of when you have easy access and extreme availability of something, it becomes commonplace, and that becomes an issue of the developed society. So the issue whether these become medbed cards become for everybody probably has more to do with are we getting all of a sudden a big jump in development, like big jump. That would have to be a big jump in development. So for it not to be a political issue anymore. All right. Last one, guys. Last one. Let's see. All right. This is now this is a kind of a take, the late night take on all of this. I'm not a big fan of this, but I'm just going to show it that there, all the instruments of all the defamatory instruments are being used to take a. I actually got to be probably careful with showing this actually, as far as claims and stuff. I'm going to show those a little bit.
AI video of himself, which is bad enough, but the actual content of the video is even more befuddling. Just watch this CNN anchor's reaction to the story.
On Saturday, President Trump shared what was apparently an artificially created video of a Fox News segment where an AI version of himself promoted a cure-all medbed conspiracy. That video has now been deleted. Let's bring in CNN chief media analyst Brian Stelter. Brian, what does this all mean? What is this?
Okay, and the reason I wanted to show that little CNN clip, but
this is what Trump has done to our journalist. She sounds like she just walked in the door and discovered her 5-year-old drew all over the walls, but in perfect cursive. What does this mean? What is this? Where did you learn how to do this? The video Trump shared is about the so-called medbed conspiracy theory. And if you don't know what...
We're just going to watch a little bit of this. I have to stop it. I'm just going to watch a little bit more. And just so we see kind of like the mainstream media, the mainstream networks, being used to kind of ridicule the idea, when at the same time we have whistleblowers in DC and congressmen in DC, congresswomen and congressmen in DC talking about, alien civilizations at the bottom of the ocean, interdimensional beings, several species of off-worlders interacting with the U.S. military and other militaries, governments, excuse me.
That is, congratulations on being a sane person. Here is CNN's explanation.
This idea has been popular in QAnon conspiracy theory circles for years, and it asserts that elites have access to
Now, you show this again. This is again the politicizing. Again, we are politicizing the idea, the very idea of being open-minded to the medbeds. Yeah, you're a right-wing crackpot. You're a right-wing crackpot if you're even open to this idea. So again, this is extreme. There's an incredible amount of misinformation here because that's not accurate, right? And I keep giving the number one example. Go ahead and take a political poll of the Gaia.com audience. Gaia is a kind of a Netflix of personal growth and esoteric stuff, mystical stuff, kind of a lot of ancient aliens type stuff in there. Go take a political poll of the audience at Gaia, and they're going to see that the audience at Gaia is all over the spectrum, and probably a lot more people will fall on the left side if you're trying to break it down.
Secret healing technology that's been kept from the public. Now, the video that Trump shared claimed that these so-called med beds will soon be available for everyone.
That's right. Trump shared a fake video about a secret healing technology called a medbed. And my question is, if medbed exists, Why hasn't Trump used one? You're going to tell me this pic is post-MedBed? Does he think?
All right, so he's just being funny. Actually, like I said before, the level of activity of this 80-year-old person, man, is extremely high. So, anyway, so elites have the new technology first, then it's made affordable to the general public. And when we look at JP, and we're going to take another look, we're going to do a part 3. And the part 3 is we're going to take a look at what JP put out the other day. And we're going to take a look and we're going to take a look at what JP did the other day from JP Missions. And the other thing there is that where would you use it? Elites are using it, and elites are using it, and of course, the military for its own personnel, for veterans are using it. All right, folks. We're going to do that part 3 sometime this week. We're going to do that part 3 and finish up with the med beds. And it's going to be talking a little bit about some Dr. Sala content and a little JP Missions content. And guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. Trump is 79. He seems much healthier than I would expect for someone at that age. Sharper than 82-year-old Biden. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly my point. And listen, admittedly, Trump says he hasn't had the best diet. He hasn't had the best. He hasn't had the best. Oh, lighting is awful today. I'm going to see if I can get that fixed. So he's had the, hadn't had the best habits. So, he is, he's not RFK Jr. fit, right? But he's, for your average 80-year-old person, he is very, very active. And the psychological weight of somebody in the position of being president of the United States, the psychological, the stress, weight, the stress, the anxiety, you name it, that whole position. Listen, people walk out. People are president for 4 or 8 years, and they walk out like they've aged 15, 20 years. He's handling it well. I may get fast food right now. Everybody wants fast food. If MedBeds exist, it's very clear that Nancy Pelosi. Okay. Anyway, I don't want political comments. Thank you, James. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for being here. Many, many blessings to you all. I want to thank all the people who are new. Thank you for subscribing. We are going to be back sometime this week talking about part 3. We're going to talk a little bit more about MedBeds. Thank you to everyone. Thanks to Thomas, James, Troy, Maria, the other 2 Marias, Lee, Gap, Curtis, Scotty, Grace, Thomas, everybody who's been in here, guys, everybody who's been here, Dave's Dimension, everybody who's been in here, guys, thank you. Thank you. And we will be back soon. Make sure, really quick, if you are not subscribed to the Inspiration platform, if you are not subscribed to the Inspiration platform, this is before we give away before we get rid of the free access, make sure you are joining the Inspiration platform. Here's the link, and make sure you are getting in there. Sign up. This is the free link to get into the Inspiration platform before the paywall goes up. Make sure you guys get in there. There you go. Cap, thank you for joining us, Cap. Good to see Cap. All right, guys. Many, many blessings to you. Have a great day. Make it a great day tomorrow. Make it a great week. Make it a great month. It's Halloween. Make sure you're picking out your costumes. Make sure you're planning some Halloween fun. And we will see you guys very, very soon.